Okay, so picking up an object. It's really more of a technical rigging issue. Um, the issue is hierarchies. If we look at our hierarchy here, is when you pick up an object off the ground or off a surface, you need to have it at the end of a different hierarchy than the one it's currently on. So here I have my arm, okay, and that's its hierarchy there. We have the joints, and here I have my object moving around, so that would be for when it's on a table. Okay, all right, fine, maybe cube. Okay. Table. Okay. So here I have my mug, all right? And so what I've had to do just to pick up an object is I have under my hand, so here's my hand, okay, so I have my hand anim that I want to control. I have my mug hand anim with a funny mistyping. And I have a locator underneath that, and I have for the object, it's called object locator, and I have this hand locator here, and then I have the mug itself, the geometry, parented under a mug locator. Okay, so what I have to do is I'm going to have to constrain it, all right, and so I'm going to grab the object locator under my mug anim, because the anims are what the users play with. I then grab the hand locator, okay, and then I grab the mug locator. All right, so that guy's last. I then go to constraints, so it's in the animation menu set, constrain, and point constrain, okay, bang. So now as I move the hand, as you see, the cup stays 50% between the table and the hand. Okay? So what I can do is, someplace like on the hand, I can add an attribute. So that's under modify, add attribute. And so I'm just going to say pick up. If I can type straight. Okay, great. And so then minimum is going to be 0, maximum is going to be 1. The default I'm going to put to 0. All right, so I hit add. So now I have this attribute over here on the hand anim. Okay, so you're going, all right, well, how does that help? Well, it gives us a place to plumb our controls into things. So I'm going to grab our set-driven key. All right, so oops, no longer can get to it that way. And so in the animate menu set, I go to set-driven key and set. All right, now the thing I'm going to be controlling, the driven attributes, are going to be in the point constraint. So here's the point constraint, all right, and so I load that. So I've selected it in my hierarchy. It's the easiest way to get to it. And I'm going to load it into my driven. I then grab my hand anim, because that's where my pickup attribute's going to be, and I do the load driver. Alrighty. So the pickup attribute at the moment is set to a value of 0. I then pop over here to my mug locator point constraint. And so let's see, if the hand pickup is at 0, means that we want it on the table. So when we look at that and it says 0, it says pick me up, 0 means it's picked up nothing. And then when we put that to 1, that will have a value, it will have it in its hand. Just these little things to make the numbers somewhat logical. Okay, so I'm going to grab both the object, okay, locator, which is just out there in space, the mug anim, maybe we put it under the table. Okay, and the hand locator. I need both of them, and I'm going to key them. So that's just going to link the pickup attribute value 0 specifically to the object locator weight of 1 and the hand locator weight set to 0. I then go back to the driver and I change the pickup attribute there to a value of 1 because that was my maximum. I usually do 10, in this case I did 1. Okay, and then I go back down here. I have to do the driver first. Now I do the driven. So the driven attribute here, I just change the object locator to a value of 0 and the hand locator to a weight of 1, and I hit key. All right. So now, all right, I grab my hand anim and I can move the coffee cup around or the mug around and place it wherever I want. And then what I can do is I can key it to switch the weighting to the table. So how the hell do you actually use this in practice? Is very simple. All right, so let's give me some frames here. So let's do like 100 frames. So here on frame 0, I will set a key on the translates of my hand, and so then at about frame 15, I'll key it up, and then I bring it down here to the table, and I line it up, probably using snapping. Okay, and there we go. I'm just going to eyeball it because I want to put a small flaw in here just so that you can really see what's going on. Well, maybe, fine, I'll do it precisely. There we go. Okay, so I've snapped that into place. All right, and so I'll set a key on it there, and I'll leave it there for a few frames. And then I will animate that up in the air like this, and I don't know, swing it around this way a bit there at the end. Okay, so there's the animation and the motion. So let's just play through that. Okay, so that's playing through nicely for the pickup. And then all I do is, here it's frame 27 where I decided that was the timing when it needed to be picked up. And so what I do is I go back 1 frame to 26 and I key the pickup attribute to be at 0. Here at frame 27, I key the pickup attribute to have a value of 1, key, and then it picks it up. Okay, so that is how you make it. Oops. It also works backwards, but there we go. So that's how you pick up an object. So it's fairly technical and very difficult. And getting a character to hop on a skateboard and roll away is very difficult. To get a character to hop onto a horse and have the horse gallop away is very difficult because of the nature of things. So let's look at that hierarchy one last time. All right, so here we go. We have, okay, all right. So here is the mug anim, all right, sitting on the table. All right, it's just parented under the table. We have, yeah, so the mug the mug itself is here parented under a locator. This locator is constrained to the mug anim and its locator, which is parented under it, and more importantly, the hand anim, which is controlling all the joints in my arm, and has a hand locator parented underneath him. Okay? So then we put on the hand anim a controller, okay, using modify add attribute. We put this guy on there, and then we plumbed it in with set driven key, and then we animated it so that when the hand came over and precisely aligned with where the cup is on the table, that all of a sudden the cups, the mug, its constraint here shifted from being constrained to this locator, okay, that's parented under the table, to the one parented under the hand control. So it's a lot of work. It's fairly technical, but it can be done. But basically, you try to plan your animation so characters don't have to pick up a lot of stuff, you know, or they do it once a scene. So, all right, have fun.